Is the guy you're dating a bit of an unsure commitment phobe? How to give him a bit of a push and get him over that line, so he'll wanna commit in a relationship with you without feeling like he's being forced or pressured to do so? In this video you'll learn from a short story about the first thing that matter in relation to a man's desire to commit. And you'll also see a short demonstration of how you can have the little conversation with him to get him feel like being more committed in the relationship with you. So stay tuned. Hi there. Welcome to Proven Love Formula, where we share tips and tricks, quotes and stories to help improve your relationship with the special one you love. If you're new here, make sure to click that subscribe button. And the links to everything we mention in this video, you can always find in the description box below. So let's jump into it. What does it mean when he says he's not ready for a relationship, and how to get him more committed in a relationship with you? You've probably seen headlines like "The Real Reason He Won't Commit" or "8 Signs He'll Never Commit." These types of articles are everywhere. And they tend to say things like, "He's not ready for a relationship, he's definitely a player," and "He's just not that into you." Well, there are definitely players out there. Guys who just want to live free and do whatever they want. Guys who just want to find someone they can hook up with. I can't help you with those men. If you know that the guy you're dating is seeing other women and he flat out tells you he just wants to see you casually, then you're probably better off investing your time and relationship energy elsewhere. The things we're gonna to teach you here are designed to attract a particular type of man. The kind of man who's destined to make you happy. There are actually 3 stages that matter in relation to a man's desire to commit in a relationship, and in this video we're gonna talk about one of those 3 stages that can impact a guy's desire to commit in the early stage of dating. I call it the Prince stage. A guy is going through where he feels like he's not ready for a relationship yet. Let me illustrate with a short story here. Rachel and Carl had been seeing each other for a while. Whenever they were together, you could tell they were really into each other. They cared about each other. They were invested in each other. There was real love there. But whenever Rachel tried to take things to the next level, Carl pulled away. He didn't do this in an obvious, straightforward way. There was no conversation where he told her that he wasn't ready for a relationship, or that he wanted to keep his options open. Instead, he'd smile and nod when she brought it up, then change the subject at the first opportunity. Or he'd suddenly become less available to hang out for a few days. Or weeks. If Rachel ever pushed him on the topic, he said of course he wanted more. But his actions pointed in the opposite direction. Rachel didn't know what to do. "Is he lying to me?" she asked. "Is he just stringing me along?" To answer that question we need to know more about Carl. Now Carl is in his late 20s. And that he was just finishing up his residency at a hospital. A nice guy. Funny. Smart. He's grounded, who plans and budgets. A good enough listener to remember her love of an obscure comedian and get them tickets when he was in town. And he was working hard on his first draft of a sci-fi novel. So is Carl a player? Do you think he's just stringing Rachel along? Well, in this case, Carl is definitely not a player. He's a prince who hasn't built his kingdom yet. What I mean is Carl's seeming inability to commit had to do with the inherent need all guys have to be a hero, and Carl is currently going through the prince stage on his heroic journey. So what the hero instinct has to do with not being ready for a relationship? Allow me to explain. The hero instinct is a drive every guy has. It's rooted in a man's DNA. Most guys are barely even aware of it. Not on a conscious level, at least. The hero instinct is what drove early men to test themselves against wild animals 3 times their size. And 10 times as strong. It has driven men to war. To scientific discovery. To publish books of poetry. To climb mountains. It's an innate desire to accomplish things. But it's not just about accomplishing things. There's a reason men are driven by the hero instinct. It makes them feel alive. For men, this type of achievement brings fulfillment and meaning. It allows them to define themselves. To feel pride. To feel worthy. And it's not just accomplishing the goal that matters either. Having a heroic mission causes men to feel needed. To feel irreplaceable. Like they're the only man for the job. Perhaps you're starting to see how this might relate to getting a man to commit. But don't worry if it's still a little fuzzy. Here's what you need to know about the hero instinct in regards to a guy not being ready to commit in a relationship. For a man to be able to commit, he needs to be able to open up and connect. This is not easy for most of them. Guys are just not wired to be emotionally accessible in that way. Unless they feel like they're engaging in a heroic act. Engage a guy in acts of heroism, and he'll feel drawn to you. Invested in you. For an act to be heroic to a man, it must involve one of 3 things. 1. Achieving something. 2. Protecting someone. 3. Earning someone's respect. If a man can do 2 or more of these things at the same time, all the better. But it's not just individual acts of heroism that motivate men. Every guy also has a sort of heroic journey that he goes on. This journey has 3 distinct stages: knight, prince, and king. In Rachel and Carl's case, Carl was in the prince stage of his heroic journey. Men in the prince stage of their heroic journey have a strong desire to accomplish things. Usually things related to work. In Carl's case, he wasn't just finishing up his residency to become a doctor. He was trying to define his place in society by achieving something. These things matter in relation to his desire to commit. Because guys tend to feel like they have to achieve something before they're worthy of settling down. They have to complete their mission, achieve something of significance, earn a reputation, or build a legacy. When Carl pulled away from Rachel's attempts to get closer, this was likely the reason. He wanted to be able to say, "I'm the guy who did X, that's why I'm worthy of Rachel's love. And that's why I can now settle down and relax into a relationship." To be clear, this is not a conscious desire. If asked, Carl would probably have no idea about this motivation. So that's the first way the hero instinct can impact commitment. The feeling guys have that certain things must be accomplished before they're ready. And in our new videos we're gonna talk about how to get a guy become more committed in a relationship with you and how to make him want more and more of you by making yourself a part of his heroic journey. Not just a part, the most fun, most exciting part. So make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of that. By the way, if you're now at the early stage of dating and you're quite sure that he's the right guy, then you can perhaps try having that little conversation with him to get him more committed in a relationship with you without feeling like he's being forced or pressured to do so. Here's a little demo of that little conversation for you. Hi. Can we talk?
Yeah, sure, what is it?
Well, don't worry, it's not a big deal really. It's just that we've been dating for a while now and I just want to figure out where you're at with you and me.
Well, okay.
Okay. It's just that I've got a couple of guys message me and wanna catch up. One of them actually asked me out on a date. And don't worry, I already said no to them. But I just wanna make sure we're on the same page, cause if you're also like having fun, like that's okay really. It's just if we're both on the same page then we can just move forward without feeling guilty. Right?
Well, I don't really want you seeing other guys.
Oh well. You know what? I really like you. So it's really up to you. If you feel like giving the exclusive thing a try, then maybe we could just try it for like a month or 2 to see how it works. But if you don't feel like doing it, it's also totally fine with me. Like I said, it's up to you. I really just wanna get on the same page. So what do you wanna do?
Well, I don't want you to see anyone else. And maybe we could just try for a month and see how we feel.
Okay. Well, so let's give it a try, say. For a month and see how it goes.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay. The point is not giving him any pressure and make him feel like it's his own decision to make, while also set an end time for him in a subtle way. So that's it for now, guys. If you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified every time we come up with a new video. Also leave a comment below on this topic. Let us know what you think. And more related videos up here on my right. And I'll see you soon.